Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Ref the District. That is a new intro for our video listeners, and for our audio listeners, you're going to have to check it out on YouTube. Those two hadn't seen it before. I literally finished that at around midnight last night, got it loaded, and I said, you know what? I'm not even going to run this by them. I'm just going to change it up and we'll see what their live reaction is. It is kind of sad to lose part of the song there. Obviously, we have the beat underneath it, but maybe there'll be some more changes. Trev's picture is going to change because I had to steal that from that man's Instagram account. I'm Ethan Perry. We got Stoner and Trev here as well. We stream live every Wednesday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at 7:30 p.m. Or if you're Yam in Japan, who's already in the comment section, has been waiting for us for 2 hours. Early morning there in Japan.
8:30 in the morning.
It is really.
Hey, you guys, I got a question real quick.
Yeah.
Totally off topic. That's what we do,
That's what we do.
So, just wondering, all the planes and stuff, like, does it take a key to start a plane or not?
Hang on, what now? So
all
the planes and stuff.
Yeah. Do you need a key to start a plane nowadays, or is it push to start?
I'm pretty sure it's a push start.
It's not even like a push to start, right?
Well, technically, it's a push to start, right? Okay. Like you have to put push the throttle.
Okay. All right. Just wondering.
Shout out to Shady Katie, Hawk TV, Doug, and as mentioned, EP and Yam also in the chat.
Hold up.
What? Shady Katie's in here?
What was that about? What was that in reference to? Why are you guys laughing?
Because I know some people who were in the Air Force, and I asked them that question, and they had no idea the answer to that question. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, you're in that department of the military.
Not everybody in the Air Force is a pilot. First,
right? I know, but my argument was, you're in that department. You should at least know that if you're a pilot or not. And then they were like, no. And
one of the biggest problems within, so I work public affairs for the United States Air Force, and one of the biggest problems we run into is our young airmen can't identify the aircraft, not just public affairs, but just anyone who doesn't actually work on the planes. That's not a good thing. You do want to be able to identify the aircraft, especially the ones that are there. Shout out first string Grayson also in there. Mama Stores. Yeah,
hey,
Mama Stores exactly what in the world is going on.
I'll tell you after the show. Here. Don't worry about it.
We do have a great show, not just about airplanes and the Air Force. So though Stoner and I could probably share some great stories from our time in the Air Force, that's not what this show is about. For the cool down, we will be talking about the fight song, and we're going to fight for Jacoby, who did not make that senior list again. Just abysmal. One, he shouldn't even need to make the senior list, but we're going to get to that in the cool down. Of course, the game today, it was football. Season's officially started. You can't tell me otherwise. Training camp is underway, and we've got the goods from training camp. And here in the warm-up, Rizzo went on and talked about Juan Soto with the Junkies. We're going to talk about that here in the warm-up. Make sure you guys get in that comment section. Let us know what you want to hear. Hawk TV, Nathan needs a DJ name. I'm rubbing him. Nasty Nate. I'm a Master Sergeant. And my last team referred to me as Master P. Is when I went on the radio.
Well, that's already taken though.
Make a
it is.
You know what? I don't hate that, Hawk. I don't hate Nasty Nate. But listen,
except for the fact I don't go by Nate. Sure.
Right. This time next year, we are going to officially give you a new name. Once you become completely separated from the United States Air Force, and you no longer have to be a Mr. Goody Goody and all that stuff, we can be a little bit risque. We're gonna get him a new name. We're gonna do like a whole vote and everything. Remind us of that in a year. If we,
I don't have to remind you, because at that point I'll be full-fledged beard. I'll grow out the hippie hair. Jesse's not going to allow me to do the hippie hair. EP's not going to take that. Let's get on to this Rizzo talk here. Juan Soto. It seems like This is soured completely now, and Juan Soto is going to leave the Nationals. Rizzo hops on the Junkies, and he is not happy. Now, some reports were saying he went off. He was an angry elf. Stoner, you listen to the Junkies religiously.
I do.
What was this about? Because I was stuck in the Pentagon all day.
Yeah, it was not as contentious as some people are making it out to be. If you listen to Rizzo, he's on there every single week. It's not something like he just came on and did this. He's on there every single Wednesday. So there wasn't anything different about this. His tone wasn't any different. His matter-of-factness wasn't any different. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't say anything to the guys. They have a good relationship, and I thought it was a great interview. And there was some really some nuggets that were gleaned out of that I was really impressed with, that Rizzo kind of opened up a little bit more than he usually does. And one of the things he said was, yes, the offer that was leaked, the most recent one, the 15 years, $440 million, that was an accurate representation of what they offered Juan Soto. He said that is a correct contract offer that they gave Soto. He didn't leak it. His team didn't leak it. That he got pissed off about, that whoever did leak it to, I believe Ken Rosenthal of MLB Network or whomever, right? But the other two contract offers that were leaked, remember, like $330 million was the first one, and then there was another one after that. He said those were bogus. Those were not correct leaks. So I thought that was pretty interesting, right? It's not often that a guy will say, that a GM will say that contract offer that's been leaked, that's correct.
Yeah.
So 15 years, $440 million. They did offer that. But he also did not say whether Soto turned it down or just didn't do anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he didn't necessarily turn it down. He just may have ignored it, or
left him on red apparently.
Yeah.
What did you get a feeling for, as far as, did Rizzo lean in onto the trade aspect, or are they still trying to get Juan Soto here a deal done?
Yeah, the inference at the end of that was that maybe they're leaning towards getting, trading him before the end of this deadline, because as everybody knows, right now it's his highest value 2.5 years before he's going to be a free agent. So they're kind of leaning that way a little bit, but I don't know that necessarily that he's up against it, that he has to do it. So I still don't think that they're going to trade him.
Do you think they hold on and keep him?
Because the ownership is going to change, and who knows what the new ownership is going to do. Got to let that play out. I think they got to let that play out. But Mike Rizzo is going to do what's best for the Nationals. He's not going to do what's best for Juan Soto. He's not going to do what's best for the fans. He's going to do what's best for the Washington.
And there's a history there. Trey Turner coming out with an interview, being asked these questions. Right? The Trey Turner's not openly bashing the Nationals and stuff. He was asked some questions in regards to the Juan Soto situation, and he talked about how, if they would have offered me a deal that I felt I was worth, he would have. Trey Turner would have stayed here.
Yep,
of course.
But that deal was never offered to Trey Turner. And people are going to read that quote and see it as they're not offering Juan Soto what he deserves, which is a blank check
right,
to stay here. But that might not happen. He might get traded. Some interesting things there. We're going to hit up some of these questions before we get to the game here, because they don't necessarily deal with training camp. So I want to get them out of the way. VP in the chat here, has Landon Collins signed with anyone yet? The answer is no. Still concerned about the D. Guys, think Landon Collins might be the answer for this defense?
I mean, you never know.
Wow.
Ron Rivera said he's going to let the Buffalo nickel spot play out at the beginning of training camp before they go look to sign anybody. And Landon Collins excelled in that position for us last year, and he's still available. So that's a no-brainer. Why not bring him back? But I don't think it'll happen, but it's always a chance because we are the Washington Commanders. We do that.
My mom does not understand the dynamics here. This is a nickname option for her. So Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, that is my favorite piece of literature. If it weren't for the fact that I cannot I will wear that proudly. We cannot have a Raven nickname here in this area. That's just not allowed.
What's your favorite piece of literature?
My favorite piece of literature?
Yeah.
It's got to be a verse from some rap song. Probably. It's not a book. I'll tell you that.
Right. It's
a song. It's a song lyric somewhere.
Who has a favorite piece of literature? Nerds. And that's about it.
Literature.
I will wear that proudly. I will wear that proudly. Grayson here wants to know, Stoner, we know you're a Masson fan. When will Masson do a TV deal outside of Verizon?
Well, they can't. Oh, outside of Verizon. I see what you're saying. I don't know. Who knows about all that inside stuff with the TV deals and Masson and the Orioles and all that other stuff. But again, the money doesn't have anything to do with whether or not they can sign Juan Soto. They have plenty of money to do that. Think about it. He's making $17 million this year, right? Yeah. If he goes on to be the highest paid player, AAV, which might be close to 35, 40 million, let's just say 40 million. You don't think they have $23 million extra for Juan Soto this year? Of course they do. Of course they have that money. Their payroll when they won the World Series was about $60 million more than it is now. So I don't know. Those TV deals are a little bit complicated with the Orioles and all that. So who knows? They'll figure it out.
Got a couple of people sharing their favorite literature. Keep that going in the chat here. Another one from Grayson. This can be the last one before we get to the topics of the day. I did see a couple other that I'll share once we get the training camp stuff. Those are a little bit more training camp related. Is this one? What did you guys think about EB's tweet from the Junkies last night? Young versus Thomas recovery comparison. I'm not going to bring it up right now. If somebody else wants to bring it up, we can bring that one up and share it.
Probably do it from memory.
But essentially, Thomas, who's older, injured 1 month later, is probably going to be ready for week 1. Chase Young, younger, injured 1 month earlier, looking like he's going to be out to start the season. Is there some concern there with this comparison? Do you feel like they're nursing Chase Young more than they should?
No. Ron Rivera answered that question today, said they were completely different injuries. Same ballpark, but different injuries. So, I mean, and that could be the case. That could be the case.
That's true. Yeah. So he had to have surgery technically on both knees, right? Because they had to pull out a tendon from the left, whichever, the opposite knee. I don't have the damaged knee. So that's a little bit different. So there's a little bit more rehab to that. But it's still, the inference is still there that he's going to be behind the progress of an older guy injured after he was. That's just, again, when you look at it, that one thing, maybe not that big of a deal, right? But when you add it up to all the other things with Chase Young, then you start to wonder.
One of those aspects is Chase Young did not rehab with the team.
For what?
And that
one I don't think is. But again,
but people are pointing to it, saying, "Hey, the guy who rehabbed with the team is going to be ready. The guy who didn't rehab with the team, not going to be ready."
Okay, so are they saying the same damn thing about Von Miller, who was also out there with Chase Young? No, they're not. So, let's get over that. Let's get rid of that narrative.
I'm with you, Trev. I'm with you. I'm saying that's what people are going after, which is a little bit frustrating.
They want us to fail, man. These fans want it. They always nitpick and find flaws for us.
That also comes back to perception, right? Perception is reality. The perception is he's out there doing his rehab away from the team. And Logan Thomas is doing it with the team. And it's just perception. That's all it is.
I don't look at it. I don't really. He was at camp today, walking around,
doing all his
he wanted to be there.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm cool.
I'm just
all
saying,
right. Before we get too far off the map here, the road has been laid. We are in training camp. That's all coming up here on The Game here on Ref the District. The Game is brought to you by Pacers Running Stores. Pacers has 6 stores in Northern Virginia and DC. For the best running footwear, apparel, and gear, just stop by or schedule a virtual fitting with the best running experts in the business. Pacers Running exists to help as many people as possible through running. For every run, it's Pacers Running.
Booyakasha.
Welcome back here on Ref the District. Thanks for sticking around with us. We have Al Catone in the chat here. Thanks for coming. Uptown Dre as well. Thanks for jumping in there. 30 years of disappointment. It changes today.
Yeah,
that's right. It changes today.
Change happened today.
Now, one of the things that we've talked about here on the show, we're going to get this one right out of the gates here, okay? Mm-hmm. Was the lottery. It was a very select few who are going to be able to go to training camp. Mm-hmm. Well, it turns out few wasn't just the people who were selected. Few was the number of fans who actually showed up to training camp.
Yeah.
What do you guys make of the low attendance for camp there in Ashburn, Virginia?
They did it to themselves.
Oh, the Commanders did it to themselves?
Yep.
Because there was
this whole brand new fan lottery thing that, just ruined everybody's training camp plan. So, and then you got people who got accepted and probably are taking a stand and not going because their best buddy who entered the same exact time, same day as they did not get a chance to go.
Yeah.
So they're taking a stand and not going.
That could be, but do you think that do you really believe that? Like, let's just say you won the lottery. Would you not go because you're upset that we also, the two, Nathan and I both?
I'd be upset, but knowing you guys,
still go, right?
I'd still go because we talk about it. You guys I know who you guys are, so you guys be cool with it. And I still feel bad, but I still go. But some people aren't the same as me. They would be like, I'm not going unless they're going, no matter what. Because what if they were like, I've been the past 5 years, and their best friend finally gets to go this year, based off of the past 5 years information of training camp, and then you get a fan lottery system, and then now they can't go. So it's like,
I think today, and I could be mistaken, but I think today was only for season ticket holders, as they were the only ones that were there today. I could be wrong, but I know a lot of season ticket holders were there today. And I think they were the only ones. This was day one, season ticket holders only. And then starting tomorrow is going to be fans who won their lottery. And maybe that's not great, but
we'll see. It's definitely something that's going to be tracked out there. Caleb in the chat saying it wasn't advertised very well. EP, we actually got the notification today that she's open to going tomorrow.
Wow,
which is hard to just drop all your plans.
You can't drop work off.
That's
if you're working, it takes some
one.
time. So, Yam informing us here. Julie said today was also for people in various charities the team works with in hospitality, something like that. That's probably one of the reasons. So we'll probably see more people as camp goes, and that's one of the things that I wanted. Yeah, I want to see what they're pulling out for the group of fans. Maybe they didn't pull out all the stops today because it was just a select few, and then you kind of had just some of those interactions. So we'll keep track of that, and I'm very interested in seeing how many people there. Yam also talks about Ashburn's not easy to get to for many Virginia fans, plus the heat. Today wasn't as hot as it has been, but it's been really hot here for the last few weeks. So I can understand people not wanting to be out there.
Yeah, just to contrast that, though, Richmond's even harder to get to, and it's hot, and that place was hopping.
Yeah,
when it's been held in Richmond,
hopping.
I mean, in Ashburn, it's kind of hard to get to, but it's still in the DMV. You can get there basically by public transportation, and then just take an Uber from the end of the Silver Line. So it's not that hard to get to.
You sound like you got this planned out there, Stoner.
Could be.
Yeah, you going?
Could be.
You going?
Could be. Maybe on Monday. Maybe.
You might see two of us. We were lucky enough to get that.
What the hell? You guys were going to tell me that?
Without Trev. We're going on without Trev. I feel not bad at all, actually. But no, it worked out. We did end up scoring a couple of tickets, so we are going to go there.
You guys got 3 tickets?
Let people know. I wish. If we had 3 tickets, darn well I was going to be driving you out of work.
For the prime example, you guys still gonna go even though I can't go? You guys gonna go?
That's what I'm saying.
That's happening.
We're not gonna boycott.
We're gonna talk after the show. That's cool.
Let me. While we're talking about fans, Carson Wentz was out there engaging with the fans, and one in particular got himself quite a bit of showtime here. See if you guys can hear that.
You're in that.
You can only barely hear it here.
We'll be able to tell you
the visuals for those listening audio. He's signing some kid fans. A guy brings up a football to him, gets the football sign, and asks Carson Wentz for his wedding band.
Legit, not even like. Does not say I'm joking. Ha ha ha. No LOL.
Actually told him that he's rich enough he can just get another one
next week, and even had the audacity to say, "Oh, it's rubber, man!" Like, wow. And Carson said, right? "Yeah, I know, but it's still mine." Like,
isn't that the balls on that guy?
I mean, just the fortitude, man. Just the
I mean, that guy should be banned from training camp forever.
I reached out to Parker and I said, you no longer have the worst fan interaction with Carson Wentz. So Parker from Sidelines, check him out because I was on the show, his most recent show, all in good fun, Parker. But Parker said something to the effect to Carson Wentz as he's signing autographs and taking pictures. Just, I hope that you have a better season than what I think you will. And Carson Wentz took a couple steps and was just like, I'm not sure how to take that.
Yeah.
And then we got in training camp, somebody asking for the man's wedding band.
Yeah. I mean, that's insane.
They do. Surf and turf, and y'all get back. Appreciate it.
That's insane that somebody would do that.
You guys, definitely gonna cry foul.
I know, especially Nathan, especially with the job that he has, and he's got to be a little bit, kind of above board a little bit. Maybe Trev doesn't want to say it. That guy is a loser.
No, I'll say it. He's a big loser.
He's a loser.
You're at training camp being a fanboy as a grown man asking another grown man who's obviously clearly younger than you, can I have your wedding band? Do you think that was cool?
I mean, God.
All the things to ask Carson Wentz right there on the spot. You asked that.
Yeah. What fan is worse? This guy who is asking for the wedding band or the one we shared on the grab bag, I think last week or the week after, where he's like knocking over people trying to get the ball signed? Which one's worse?
Same.
Which one's worse?
People. Oh, they're the same.
Wedding band. That's like, that's a little bit personal. Like a kid, there's whatever. It's just a kid. It happens to them on the playground every day. Whatever.
On the kids.
You want to be up there in the middle of it, you got to get ready to take some elbows, bro. Come on, man. I mean, I'm just saying.
He was preparing them for life. He was preparing them for life there. Shout out again, Corey, here on the Warpath.
That's right.
Make sure you head out to his channel and subscribe. Some good content there. Of course, First String. If I haven't told you to head out there, make sure you head out there as well. As far as we had a question up here, is RVA no more going forward? I imagine they'll be back at Richmond at some point.
I hope, man.
I don't know.
It's hard to say. It depends. If they get the stadium deal, eventually it's all just going to be wherever the stadium is. If they get what they want, so whatever deal they make out with Richmond, Virginia is probably going to end up being a short one if they make one at all. And really what I think it comes down to right now is just kind of politics is, you do pay for the team to come to you because it attracts more money, more attention to your town. And no one wants to allocate taxpayer money to do that. So it is what it is here. Caleb I remember RG3's prime at training camp. I watched someone pass a baby up to him for RG3 to sign the baby's jersey. Yeah, fans are crazy, man. Fans are crazy.
It's like, let me get your wallet, Carson, real quick. Let me hold $20.
Yeah. I'd say that to Terry. Terry's the one who just got $28 million. Can I just borrow your wallet for a moment? Let's move on from the fan talk and let's move on to the stuff that actually happened on the field. Let's go ahead and stay with Carson Wentz.
Okay.
What kind of day did he have?
Well, go ahead, if I can just jump in real quick, I just want to kind of hijack just for a second because we're going to talk about what Carson Wentz did on the field and what all these other players did on the field. But we can't talk about it unless we acknowledge those who are actually there and feeding us this information, feeding us as content creators, feeding us as fans, right? So I just wanted to kind of take a moment to call them out and give them a lot of thanks. We should do this once a year. We should do it all the time, but but for time's sake, we should do this once a year. The guys like J.P. Finley, Pete Haley, Mitch Tischler,
Zach Selby,
Michael Phillips, Nikki Javala, John Kime, Zach Selby, Ben Standig, Matthew Paris, Felix Trammell, Sam Fortier. Can you guys think of anybody else?
Scott Abraham, who as the video that we shared just a moment ago.
Darren Haynes, right. All these guys are going out there. They're putting this stuff out on Twitter and other social media for us. So that we can talk about it and we can
and the team did a great job, I think, with Julie and having the cameras there and talking about that. I feel like that was a great kind of middle ground for the fans who couldn't join, right?
Sorry,
like you're still there to kind of do. No, that's great. That's perfect. I think that's
acknowledge that.
You're right. None of us showed up today. Trev,
I show up every day.
We're going to put that on you, Trev. But none of us were there today, but we got this information thanks to the people who were there. So we appreciate the stuff that's going on. Got someone watching you.
That's my former boss. What up, Michelle?
Uh-oh.
Thanks, Michelle, for jumping on here with us. Right now? Yeah, so she can tell us whether or not you showed up.
That's good. That's why she's watching. They're closed too, so we're good.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to this Carson Wentz question here. What kind of day did you have? Trev, you're saying that he just had a day.
A day one expected type of day. I mean, it's day one with the brand new receivers. He probably, got a heads up. I mean, a head step of what's it called? What's the
head start?
A head start, I guess. Yeah. Mm-hmm. On chemistry with that by holding that private workout in California with a couple of receivers and stuff. So, I mean, he had that 20-yard bomb to Terry, and then I heard he had a couple miscues, but just a day one expected type of day.
Can we back that up a little bit? Did you say 20-yard bomb?
I did. Apparently, it was down the sideline, and Terry caught it like the same way he caught it against the Chargers.
But is 20 yards a bomb? I feel like 20 yards is just like
have you seen our offense the past few years? 20-yard bomb is accurate. Okay?
We're not talking Taylor Heineke out here throwing a 20-yard bomb. We're talking Carson Wentz here. Shout out to my mom, $5. Of course, we have the super chat open. We always appreciate the donations. She gave you $5, man. She says, Trev, buy a drink on me for missing
happy
out.
Hour for show.
Hey, inflation, man. That's a half a drink, but it's much appreciated.
Happy hour works.
When you're a bartender, though, you get the drinks for free. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
when you own the place.
I mean, it is.
You're just putting yourself up there. P4 Boxing, what's up? He's in the house here. The Grayson saying, by the way, JP is the best. That's Grayson's guy. Yam, thanks for showing up with us. P4 is going to be at training camp on August 18th. Just signed his waiver. I would love to see it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
As many out there as possible. Back to Carson.
Playing linebacker P4.
I'm going to start a daily tracker for Carson Wentz.
What you mean?
Because if you have a bad day, let's just say Carson has a bad day. Nobody's going to say he had a bad day. They're going to say, he didn't look sharp.
Yeah.
Maybe struggled about this and that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to keep a tracker on whether he had an average day, which seems to be what it is today, which means, it was a bad day. Or did he have a good day? Right? So I'm going to keep track
day one.
Okay. So he didn't have a great day on day one. Okay.
He was average.
I'm not saying he's going to suck.
Right.
I know that this is a referendum on the entire year because he had a bad day on day one.
True.
But I'm just saying those beat reporters, they're not going to say he had a bad day. They're going to say he wasn't sharp. Mm-hmm. He was uneven, which is all the things that they said today. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to mark that up in the not great day.
Okay.
And I'm just going to keep track, and I'll give an update every Wednesday on the previous week on how many good days and how many not good days he had.
Okay.
So today I'm chalking it up to not good day.
Not good day. Yeah, because what made it not a good day, though?
Well, just from everything that you heard, they said he was uneven. He wasn't hitting guys where they needed to be. But they all said that you can definitely see that we've talked about. You can definitely see the zip on the ball is so much
live arm, as they like to call it.
Yeah, the live arm is which is so important, right? But he just didn't have the day where he was hitting a lot of guys in stride and making the right reads or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. But it just wasn't great. So no problem. I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying.
Both of you are good with maybe a slow start here. I always say, and I'm not the only one who says this, but training camp is where you want to see these mistakes, right? Training camp is where this needs to happen. Because if everything goes as planned in training camp, and we've seen this play out in preseason, right? You go, Steve Spurrier was 4-0 in preseason, and then completely tanked, right? So these are the times to make the mistakes. So hopefully they get out of there. And plus, I don't feel like it was as bad of a day as, like, say, Dan Jones from the Giants, who threw a red zone interception.
Dak Prescott threw a 2-minute drill interception too to Anthony Brown of all cornerbacks.
there you go. So these things are going to happen. I
said Dak Prescott threw an interception today in a 2-minute drill.
I wonder who that's directed at.
All the Cowboys fans that are watching.
A little shade there being thrown there, Trev. A little bit of shade. Let's bring up Grayson's, because I'm going to talk about the people who were practicing, and we're going to talk about the people who were and were not practicing. Grayson asks about the PUP list. Can we define that? What does it exactly mean? Stoner, do you want to take this for us?
Yeah, PUP is just stands for physically unable to perform. So it's injured guys. And it's just a designation. It's an administrative sort of thing. And all that means is you can only have 90 guys on a roster in training camp, right? But if you put a guy on the PUP list, that means you can bring in another body to replace him, because he's not going to be practicing because he's injured. So Chase Young is not going to practice. You know that. So he gets put on this list, and you can bring in another guy to compete or to just be a camp body. And it doesn't have to be a defensive end. It can be another quarterback. It can be anybody. So it's just a designation. And in training camp, you can bring him off the PUP list at any time. Yeah. And all that means is now he's practicing and somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to be off that 90-man roster. So it's not a big deal at all. These are guys you expected to be on that list.
Usually the ones who are on that list are coming off of a season-ending injury from the season before.
Yeah.
So they're starting training camp on that list just for extra time to get better. So
they're doing conditioning. They're still around the team. They're doing activities on their own. You just won't see a part of any of the team drills. And the big difference there is the PUP for training camp is not necessarily the same people you will see. As Stoner mentioned there, you can take them off at any time. So if they start the season on the PUP, that's where they're going to start missing games. And they have up to, I think it's 6 weeks. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat there. But it's up to 6 weeks they can be on the PUP. They're activated. You have 3 weeks once you activate them. Kind of similar to IR in that regard.
Yeah, not to get them ready. That's kind of a
mandatory.
It's at least
at least
6 weeks that you cannot play.
Yeah,
so if they're on the deal, if it's in training, if it's in the regular season.
So the people on the PUP now, probably we're looking at Chase Young remaining on the PUP.
That's fine.
But Logan Thomas has a good chance at coming off.
Okay. I don't think Chase is going to be on the PUP in the regular season.
Nah.
But I also don't think he's going to be ready for week 1. I don't think he's going to miss 6 weeks.
Want to put a dollar on it?
Yep, he's ready for week 1.
You think he's going to be 6 weeks missed?
Yep.
I think he'll be on the PUP. I think he's going to start the year on the PUP.
Wow.
No, I
don't think so, because
I think it's week 1.
I think he'll miss a month. I think he'll miss 4 games.
All right. I think we got a 3-way dollar bet going here.
That's what I think.
All right. We got a week 1. Let us know in the chat what you think. Is Chase Young coming back week 1?
How many
is he coming back after 4 weeks, like Stoner says? Or do you think he starts on the PUP, like I think, and it's going to be, maybe like Roger says here, look for Chase in week 8.
Nah, Roger. Go home, Roger. I'm just kidding, Roger.
I put that out there. I think I put that out there. I don't know what week Green Bay is
with you.
September 11th.
What's Green Bay game?
Green
is that
Bay
week 8?
Is...
Because I think that's what I put out there as my original prediction, is that he'll be back for Green Bay.
October 23rd.
Yeah.
Gus Bus, I love this. He says the only stat that matters is how many sacks Chase gets in the playoffs. Anything else is cherry on top. I'll agree with you there, Gus Bus. You if they make the playoffs and Chase has himself a night, then
you don't think you don't think Chase will be ready to go in 6 more weeks by week 1? 6 weeks?
Definitely not.
And he's already walking around with no crutches. He's already squatting the most weight ever he said a month ago.
Nope.
6 weeks.
Totally different than running around on a football field. And no, he won't be ready. But that's okay. That's fine that he won't be ready for week 1. He's definitely not going to be ready.
Okay, everybody said about Adrian Peterson, and he came back in 9 months. Okay, so I'm just saying, technology. He's young. Maybe we honestly don't know how far along he is. He could be almost ready to go faster than what we think, but he's just being cautious. We honestly don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
Still say 6 weeks is week one, and I'm saying he's going to be suited up week one.
Listen, I don't have like a
terrorizing y'all's neighborhood. What?
I don't have his record sitting in front of me.
After the bye? Yeah, Grayson, we have week 14, bro. We have a week 14 bye.
That's a pretty late bye there.
That might as well just stay on the bench for the next 3 games. No way, dog. No way. No way.
December 11th essentially is the bye. When you're telling, so December 18th.
He wouldn't be walking on his own.
That's a probably a little bit too long for that one. Gus Bus, you and I we're in sync here.
Pressure him.
Why pressure him to go week one?
Maybe he is
100% in the stretch rather than week one. Everyone thinking fantasy football mindset.
I don't even have my fantasy football team.
Maybe not a fantasy football mindset, but you're right. We don't need. This isn't RG3's second season. It's not all in for week one.
I'm just saying he's a predator. He's already walking with no crutches. He's running and stuff. Come on, guys.
Honestly looks like he wants to be out there practicing, which is good. You want him hungry. Keep him hungry for a little bit longer and make sure that he comes back here. Johnny boy, we're not medical doctors. We have no right to tell Chase Young when or when not.
We're not telling him when he can.
Johnny boy.
We're not telling him when
I get knocked down, but I get okay. You know that one, Stoner?
I do know.
Yeah,
that one. I haven't done musical roulette in quite a while.
I had to bring it back.
I was gonna actually sing "Where Have All the People Gone" because there's no way I'm gonna use that C word here on this channel when we're talking about the fans. But then I decided not to because I wasn't gonna give Shady Katie the joy of that mention there.
No, we're not telling him when he should and should not come back. We're just making our predictions. That's all.
Yeah, I say week one.
Johnny boy, when do you think Chase Young's going to make it back to the field? Let us know in the comment section there.
But on that Chase Young note, to get to the training camp again, back on whatever,
on track.
James Smith-Williams was the guy replacing him today on the opposite side of Montez Sweat, which I think
like James Smith-Williams.
I like him too.
That was my guess. That's who I said was going to be there. A lot of people were like William Bradley King, and I was like, I'm thinking it's going to be James Smith-Williams.
If you got 3 names, there's probably a good chance you're replacing Chase Young. I mean, this is kind of the way it's working out.
So Chase Young did not play. Obviously, we just said James Smith-Williams was starting with the ones. Gibson was also sidelined today, also not practicing. Coach Rivera says this was just out of precaution because he had an injury the last time they were out. Trev, with the princess wave there, what's going on, my man?
Okay, so here's where I am with that. They said he missed some OTAs with a little hamstring twinge, as JP Finley said. But then he was pictured and also filmed in action with the Carson Wentz private workout in California.
Sure.
Now it's day 1 of training camp, and he's on the sideline. Should he have not gone out to that camp with that hamstring twinge with Carson Wentz and then just stay put until training camp? Or do you think the Carson Wentz private workout affected his hamstring some more while they held him out? Or are they literally just saying, you know what, we don't care you did private workouts, we're happy you did, but like, we're just going to hold you out? That's just a weird scenario.
I wonder if it's because at a private workout you can self-pace, right? You can gauge on your own where it is. But if you're at training camp, you're having the coaching staff kind of push you to kind of go through the drills, and maybe you push yourself a little too far. So I kind of lean with Coach Rivera here. This isn't a serious thing. This is just hey, we don't really need to see you. We know what you can provide, right? This is his 3rd year. They know what he brings to the table. They did just draft a running back in the 3rd round, and they've got a couple other guys that they need to see. Who is the one? Who are the people staying on the roster? Who's making that practice squad? Are they going to keep 4 running backs, or is it just going to be the 3? These are the decisions. And so sidelining him, I don't think hurts them at all and allows him to rest and keep healthy for the season.
I'm not too concerned about it, but it's less than ideal.
Yeah, it's a question mark.
It's less. Yeah, it's absolutely a question mark.
But this team,
I think we're pretty lucky that we don't have any major issues with injuries, holdouts. How would you like to be the 49ers when you got the Garoppolo issue, you got the Deebo Samuel issue, or you're the Seahawks with the DK Metcalf. We don't have any of those big problems. So when your starting running back is on the sidelines, not practicing, we tend to make a little bit bigger deal of it because we don't have anything else to make a big deal about. But it is less than ideal that he's on the side field.
It is.
It's not great. But and conversely, it was great that Curtis Samuel was not.
That's exactly where we're headed out now, is Curtis Samuel was actually practicing.
Great.
He was actually out there doing training camp drills and everything. Trev, why you got to be so negative, my man?
I'm not.
About which one? About
Curtis Samuel. He's saying, yeah, today he was out there today.
He was out. He did this last year, and then the very next, he was out there running routes, looking sharp. The next day, he was like on the sideline again. It's like, okay,
yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a big deal, right? If he's on the side and they're like, he had a full day of practice, and we want to just kind of take it. That's going to be a problem if Curtis Samuel's on the side.
He better be out there practicing on Monday.
See, on Monday at least. I'm happy he was out there. Don't get me wrong. I'm ecstatic through the roof. Woo! But tomorrow.
We do have to temper expectations for a lot of people because they're not in pads yet.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that they are doing is there is the optional helmet for people to wear, which is like the super padded helmet. What do you guys think of that? Are we going to eventually see that come out to be the normal helmet? Do you think that's going to be like your logos are painted on those?
Nah, but it's to help reduce the head trauma. But
yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. If you're going to wear those in practice, why not wear them for the actual game where you're violently throwing your body at another person?
The helmet, because you can't really get a nice looking sharp helmet logo on.
And then you got the Mark Kelso. You remember Mark Kelso? You guys probably don't remember him.
I don't even know.
Back in the 80s.
I was 87. I was born in 87. How am I going to remember somebody?
I don't know. He had that giant helmet that people used to make fun of him for. But I think maybe they should eventually. I think they probably will do that. The helmets will be those big old giant helmets with the pads on the outside, and the logo will be on the outside right there with it. Why not? You gotta.
Oh my gosh, Gus Bus is really.
Gus is getting you guys here. Thank God we have Wes Schweitzer. Imagine no veteran center for Wentz to practice with as Roulier and Larson coming back from injury. Those are two of the other key players who are out. Two of the centers, of course, Washington got all the way to their fifth center last season. Two of them still on. Yeah,
so
two of them still on there. So Wes is
doing that today.
Yeah,
and so maybe that's for some of the unevenness.
Male too, maybe.
Yeah, and what about John Toth, the male model?
Oh, yeah.
The one that we said is probably not making the team here. Speaking of not making the team, Roger says that he wants to keep 5 tight ends because 2 of them are just big, wide receivers.
That's basically what Rico was saying when we had him on and we talked about tight ends. He was like, I want all these guys on them, including Armani Rogers, who is not making this team. Sorry, he's not making
he's probably on the practice squad.
Okay, maybe.
Sammis Reyes, by the way, some first team snaps.
No.
Yeah.
Sam Howell threw him that pass.
I didn't say it was the one you saw in video. I'm saying it was reported that Sammis Reyes got some first team snaps.
Everybody needs to have a shot. It's day one. It's the first day of school. Everybody's
being out, but you got to figure that has to go to
everyone's friends on the first day of school.
That's a big move. I would, you guys know me. I like myself some Sammis Reyes. I would love to see him. He did have a nice
15-yard grab from a laser dart by Sam Howell that was reported earlier, and I saw the video. He caught it, and he kept running through the whistle by himself, finishing the play.
There you go.
Hey, boy. He's not making the squad, but
he's not making the squad.
What do you guys think of this, though? 5 tight ends, 5 wide receivers. Is this something that you guys would go with? Because 2 of them are just big body. But then again, you got some of those wide receivers we have that are on the end of the roster are pretty big bodied with Harmon and Cam Sims. Would you take a tight end over those 2?
No, I like Kelvin Harmon's hands and his strength and physicality, and I like Cam Sims' height.
They're also faster, and so they're bigger guys, but they're faster. I don't think you need that many tight ends. I'd go with some depth on that wide receiver.
Day one, all right, 53-man roster. Let's just say, for argument's sake, Logan Thomas is on the pup. Okay, let's just say, he's going to start the year on the pup. I don't think so, but let's just say. Who are the tight ends you guys are keeping out of this?
Cole Turner.
Okay.
John Bates.
Right.
Armani Rogers.
You're keeping Armani Rogers over AGG,
You're sleeping on
Sammis Reyes.
Yeah, because I bet he's a better blocking tight end than both of those guys probably. So we'll take that. I mean, you've seen Sammis Reyes block. It was the whiff every time. Come on, you saw that.
Not every time.
Well, the only time he got in there to play was a whiff, and that was preseason. So there's that. And then, Armani Rogers, because he's tall, he's big, he's athletic. I'll do it.
Roger likes Rogers here. Caleb, yes, AGG is trying tight end. He is now up to 240 pounds.
They ain't gonna work for us, though.
They said
from
he looked
225.
Giant today. There was some reports out there that he looks a lot bigger than they.
I don't see us keeping him though. Do you guys see us keeping him?
So I'm sorry, I do.
He is the one who probably, like Sammis Reyes, has a little bit of an uphill climb, because when you're talking to Armani Rogers, when you're talking Cole Turner was a converted wide receiver, but the AGG has been playing wide receiver. He literally was a wide receiver in this league.
Yeah,
now he's being converted. But and then Sammis Reyes never playing football. He's still trying to learn the position. So I feel like those two have an uphill climb. That's why I do think Armani Rogers sneaks onto at least the practice squad.
I think AGG is going to follow the Logan Thomas route. And there's no shade of Logan Thomas at all, because he came in the league, as a quarterback, then he went to tight end. It took him a couple years, different teams to get him
figured out.
And now look at him. He's like really good. So maybe he'll latch on somewhere else, but I just don't think we'll keep him here from that position. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. But when Logan Thomas is here and he is on the roster, I think you're only keeping Logan Thomas, John Bates, and Cole Turner.
Yeah,
I think all those other guys they're not going to be anywhere around. I mean, they're going to be on practice squad, but they're not going to be anywhere around on game day. It's going to be those three, and you're going to have 6 receivers at a minimum, depending on who gets the punt return job, and that's it. You're only going to have those 3. All these other guys, good for you. You're an incredible athlete. But I'm sorry, you're just
I will agree with that. I don't think they're going to keep the four tight ends. If they did keep a fourth, my pool would obviously be with Sammis Reyes. But I just don't see.
You love Sammis Reyes.
Oh man, yeah.
Converted basketball player, man. That's even better than
somebody who loves you as much as Nathan loves Sammis Reyes.
I'm telling you.
I've heard Sammis Reyes' name on here more times in my entire life tonight on this show than my entire life before tonight.
Well, let's go to a different name that we love to talk about, and that's Terry McLaurin doing Terry McLaurin type stuff. The captain is back.
Yes. It was so nice to see him running out with the team during practice.
Yeah, we missed that in OTAs, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and from what everybody said, he was doing what Terry McLaurin does. He was out there running smooth routes, snagging the ball at every opportunity.
Rivera said that.
He's just
Carson Wentz came up short on a throw. And he was like, dang, he missed him. But he found out that Terry came over to Carson and was like, that's my bad. I broke out of that route way too soon.
Like, what the like? I love that dude. Oh! I'm telling you. I'm thinking about
17-0, baby. Here we come, y'all. I'm telling you. I am fired up, bro. We have a quarterback.
Stoner, I don't know if Trev picked up on that joke there. I got you.
What did you say?
I said I was thinking about switching teams, and I'm not talking about Commanders either. I love me some Terry McLaurin.
Find you somebody who loves you as much as Stoner is in love with Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, man.
Gonna have to take Stoner's wedding ring away from him.
Hey, you guys, you know what we didn't hear about today? Jarrett Patterson.
I think you're just
No, I'm being serious though too. I'm being serious. You heard his name during. I mean, I know it's only day one, but you heard his name a little bit during OTAs.
You're going to hear some stomping down the steps here soon.
He was Camp Darling last year, right?
I don't think he's.
Just this year, you're probably not going to hear anything.
Nah. And Brian Robinson stepped in today for AGG and did great. I heard he was elusive too. Great hands out the backfield. So
I think he's a good pickup. I don't like that he was picked in the third round, but still, I think he was a very good pickup.
Still my least favorite pick this draft, but we'll see what comes out of that.
Yeah,
your least favorite pick?
My least favorite pick. I'm on record saying that Brian Robinson was my least favorite pick of this draft. Let's answer Johnny Boy's question here. What's a player on the bubble that you want to see make the team? And I will for myself, not Samus Reyes, right? Outside of Samus Reyes, a bubble player to make this team.
I'm Dax Milne. I got a few.
All right, let me think about that for a second. Gosh,
I'm going to go with
there's not a lot of bubble guys, right? This team is pretty well established. Okay, I know. Bubble guy, Anthony Barr.
He's
coming in next week. Don't you worry.
I'm going to stick with the linebackers. Right? I'm going to go for a different joke here, though. I'm going to go with Milo, just so he has the chance to actually hear his name called again if they ever have a chance.
Right.
No, if I'm going to go a bubble guy, I'm going to go with Harmon. Harmon would be someone I think would be nice to see bounce back from his injury. He had a good rookie season. He's just been kind of injured there. What's up, Steve? What's good, my guys? Keep up the great work. We appreciate it.
I think my bubble guy that I'd like to see them make the team is AGG, Gandy Golden. I'd like to see him make it as a tight end and basically resurrect a career that hasn't been – it's not like it's lost already because he's still so young and he was just a draft pick just a couple of years ago. But I'd like to see him make that transition and become, a productive member of the team. There's my guy. I'll take that. And Cam Sims is not a bubble guy. Cam Sims is
going to be
what it is.
The fourth or fifth wide receiver. It's going to be between him and Diami getting that fourth wide receiver reps, and that's going to be pretty interesting. But hey, if those are your fourth ones, I feel pretty good about 1, 2, and 3. How about St. Juice getting some work in the slot? Cornerback's kind of working around there. St. Juice missed quite a bit of last season with concussion issues. Gets a lot of playing time today in the slot. Do you think that's where we're going to see him? Fuller and Jackson on the outside. St. Juice there playing the slot?
Yeah, I think we should also look at that position group and see if we can bring another veteran in because I just don't trust.
You don't believe in Corn Elder?
Danny Johnson? I thought you liked Danny Johnson. Weren't you a Danny Johnson guy? No, maybe that was Nathan. That's a Danny Johnson guy.
I don't. Yeah, because there's after those three, there's no depth, and we can't really trust St. Juice because of his health. No offense to him, I know he can't control that, but he missed quite a bit of time.
I mean, St. Juice was injury. He was another camp darling last year, right? Everybody thought
he did really well. In fact,
he was okay,
and a lot of people were like Kendall Fuller to the slot.
Torrey had a better camp
on the outside.
I think Torrey had a better camp than St. Juice, but
I think we just probably saw a lot more of Torrey because of
St. Juice
they were out there more often is what it was.
There's a lot of people there's a lot of people who want to see him in the slot and think he's made for the slot. I'm not savvy enough to know whether his body type and all that. That St. Juice is good for the slot or whatever. But that seems to be what they want to do. They want to have Jackson, Fuller, Juice on the field all at the same time, right?
They said he lined up against a tight end, a slot receiver, and I think an outside receiver too today as well.
Yeah, he's got a great build because he is big enough to stay with the tight ends. So if those are moving out, and then he's got probably one of the better celebrations in the league, in my opinion. I love is that like
an S and a J or something?
I don't know. I
locking it up as far as I think.
I thought locking it up.
Okay. Yeah, it's reportedly a dance move of some sort. There, St. Juice has also short area quickness, which is why they have him in the slot, right? So it's those quick move stuff. So he's able to cover a lot of ground and stay with his person, which is important. So,
but didn't Kendall Fuller excel in the slot?
He did Not last year though.
Yeah, not last year.
The years prior, he looked like a quality slot cornerback. Last year though, he struggled in the slot. And so you saw him move back to the outside, start to have a really good season, and then St. Juice ended up being injured. So
my man
did play well until the injury.
My man Trapke season dropped the easy pick today, I heard.
Yeah, I did.
It was thrown by Heineke too, which made it even easier and even more embarrassing.
You got to come down with that.
Yeah, it was a gift for Trapke.
He probably handed you. It's probably a handoff. You fumbled it. Like that's probably what it was.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't list Trapke as your bubble guy. Do you think Trapke's he's going to make it?
Yeah,
he is a special teams ace.
Yeah, he'll be in there. Don't worry about him.
Nah, there you go, Stoner.
Yeah.
Now up earlier, I forget who commented it, but let's talk about the other guy hanging up on the wall here, Jonathan Allen's presser. Impressed quite a few people.
When that man speaks, you listen, bro.
He says all the right things too, right? He
but it doesn't sound scripted. It sounds like he legit means everything he says.
Yeah.
When talking about Carson Wentz, he said he's going to show us who he is by doing the things he does every day.
I don't need to ask questions. I'm like, yo,
questions.
But you did when Taylor was back there, and Gilbert Grape and Kyle Allen and Tom Ford and Betty White and everybody else you had back there. You had to ask some questions, but with this, it's like, I just deal with it. He comes to work every day. I sit back and watch. I'm ready to go.
Great guy to have on your team. You want guys. If you had 10 other John Allens on defense and 10 other Terry McLaurins on offense, you'd win the Super Bowl every year.
Every year.
Yeah, but they're still trying to find those guys. You're not finding them anywhere. But they don't seem to have any knuckleheads this year, right? Are there any knuckleheads that we have to worry about this year?
What you mean by like just off the field stuff?
Just off the
three
field.
Yahoos you're looking at on the screen. Who?
Yeah. That's it. That's all they got to worry about now. It's just us. Yeah,
you're right.
The fans, the ones who don't show
buying in on the team, like everybody seems like they're buying in.
It's year 3, man. It's year 3 of the Ron Rivera era. It's time. He even said it in his presser. Look, it's year 3, right?
And Scott Abraham was like, "Is this playoffs or bust?" He was like, "Nope. We expect to win. We're gonna leave it at that."
Yeah, well, he can't say that. He can't say it's playoffs or bust because if they don't make the playoffs, then you gotta fire him.
That's obvious. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like what Ron is saying. All those things. It's year 3. This is when everything is supposed to come together, right? So this is a huge year. Everything's riding on Ron and Carson Wentz.
Nervous.
Yeah, it's nervous. And then that week 1 in Jacksonville, and they go out and Trevor Lawrence just goes up and down the field on him, and we're all gonna be crying.
So
I'm sorry if I missed your question. Go ahead and type that back in. I'm not saying it when I just briefly scrolled up there. If you do have any camp questions, let us know in the chat. Samuel Dotson, we're working the slot.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to see maybe something? How's this wide four set
all over the place?
Oh. You have Terry McLaurin. You have Samuel, you have Dotson, and then you have Cam Sims on the other outside
or Diami
spot there,
or Diami.
I went with the height. But those two in the slots, do you think we're going to see some of those kind of lineups? Going to give some people some problems there,
bro? We're going to see all kind. We're going to see like probably maybe 3 on one side and Cam on the other side, and run a bubble screen to Curtis or Dotson. You might see Dotson in the slot, Terry in the slot, Cam Sims in the slot, Dotson and Jahan on the outside. Like it's going to be crazy.
You're going to see Gibson in the slot.
Yeah, you're going to see McKissick in the slot. You might see Logan Thomas in the slot and Cole Turner tight end. Like it's going to be crazy. Like you just
I've said it. I say it all the time. If you went out there and you had all those guys that you just said, they're all healthy. If you have McLaurin, you have Dotson, you have Samuel, and then you have Gibson. Let's just say. And Diami or Cam or Logan Thomas or Cole Turner or J.D. McKissick or Brian Robinson, right? I mean, this team has so much potential. They just got to.
We got the firepower, bro.
Yeah, and Carson's just got to be able to put it all together And it's all got to mesh, and you got to worry about injuries.
I mean, because look what he had in Indianapolis, and he went 9-8. Okay, he had an aging T.Y. Hilton, and then a complimentary Michael Pittman, and then
Pittman's really good, but yeah.
But you know what I mean. But like now here he has his T.Y. Hilton, he has his Pittman, he has his Jonathan Taylor. Now he has even more weapons. So like, yeah, we really have set him up to do nothing but succeed. There's no way that he can't. There's literally no way unless the playbook is too complicated or it's just.
And that's why they had to draft a receiver in the first round so that they could do it. I mean, imagine if they had drafted that safety. Who was that safety that
Kyle Hamilton?
Yeah. We'd be sitting here going, oh my God.
I know we would.
Oh my God. It's going to be a boring offense again.
I was one of the biggest people calling for Kyle Hamilton. Yeah. I will say that I am way more excited to see what we're going to bring with Jahan Dotson than I probably would have been.
Now we get to see Scott Turner's playbook, like we mentioned.
And here's something they have not scored more than 400 points in a season since
when?
2012.
Oh,
who was quarterbacking then?
the
legendary rookie
of my life.
Yeah, RG3 there.
Yeah, RG3.
They did come close a couple of times, 2015 with 388 and 2016 with 396, but they've not broken the 400 since that point. And their offenses have been abysmal. Do they break the 400 point barrier this time?
Yes, because I'm saying that because of the schedule we have. The schedule we have, the defenses don't really scare me. I mean, the teams don't really scare me at all, honestly. They don't.
And plus, it's an even more offensive-driven league than it was in just 10 years ago in 2012, right? The rules are just so helpful for the offenses now. Even now, it's only 10 years later. So, yeah, I think absolutely. It's a different game. It's all about the offense. So, yeah, I think they absolutely have the opportunity
to be lights out.
400.
Shout out Tommy T in the chat here. By the way, 400 points in a 17-game season is only 23 points a game.
And it's 17 games, right?
Yeah.
So now it's.
But I know that's pathetic, guys.
If they can't get, they haven't. They didn't get there last year. They were pretty abysmal last year. Then they were only slightly better per game the year before. They actually scored
23.
23 per game if you score 400 points exactly. So the last 2 years they scored 335 points, right? And so it was worse last year because they had that extra game. They've got to score more than 400, right? What per game? What per game would you give them? Because Gus Bus is telling us it's unfair because of that 17th game. But how many per game would you like? You would like 32? That would be the dream.
That's a little
lofty.
That's very lofty.
That's 4 touchdowns in the field goal.
3 of the league, probably.
That's 4 touchdowns. Come on. You can't say Carson Wentz can't throw for 3 and Antonio Gibson can't rush for 1. Are you kidding me, you guys? That can't happen.
Nathan, you seem to have the stats in front of you.
I'm going to pull up this. I'm going to pull it up from last
year.
Why
can't that happen?
Give me a second.
Because Patrick Mahomes barely does that with Hall of Famers all around him. So
what?
That's what I'm saying. He's going to pull up the stats right now, and he's going to see that.
Bro, why can't we do that? Why can't Carson throw 3 touchdowns a game and Antonio Gibson, or there's at least 1 rushing touchdown a game by somebody?
Because it's just not how it works. It's not that easy.
Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills do it every single game.
No.
How many points? How many points?
He said 32. That's like top 3
The lead scorer last year was 31.2.
Exactly. Okay, I'm not that far off. Get out of here.
We don't need Shady Katie cheering in the chat there. But yeah, 31.2. So if you get to me, 25 points a game.
To 25, 26. Yeah.
This team, you know what they had last year? They weren't the bottom, 17. Surprisingly, but they didn't even have 20. Get to 25 first before you got to walk before you can run, Trav.
Bro, but okay, I know, but we have Carson Wentz, and he's
Patrick Mahomes didn't even do it.
All right, I will accept what Indianapolis got, which is 26.5.
I'm only 6. I said 32. Big deal.
That's a huge difference, Trav.
That's a big difference.
Touchdown.
That's a big difference. We would be losing our dang on minds.
Bro, where's the optimism? We need to blow people out. We need to command. We're the commanders. Thank you. 51 touchdowns. Why can't we do that?
By the way, Jared's trying to really bring us down here. We're cursed. Everyone's going to be bad. No, Jared, this is the time for some positivity.
That's right.
This is where we have to find the good.
By Jared. This is cool. Happen. This trio linebacker would be nice. Anthony Barr in the middle, Cole on the side, Jamin on the other side. That would be dope. I'll take that right now.
Something's going to happen. Something is going to happen.
We're getting Anthony Barr.
Yeah, Milo's going to step up, and we're going to
we're going to get Anthony Barr. We got him on standby. But for real, we do. Watch how fast the contract and the signing happens next week.
Next week? Okay.
Yeah, after 2 days.
Let me tee on this on the question here as the scoring, as we're talking about scoring. Will they put up 40 this year?
We play the Lions. That could possibly happen. We play the Falcons. That could possibly happen. We play
a lot of bad
the teams. Giants twice. That could definitely possibly happen.
Yeah.
I mean, at least once.
Did they score at least 40 at least once last year? Do you remember? I don't think
they did not. They haven't scored 40 in a long time.
Oh, really? I thought they got close one time.
They haven't scored 40 in a long time.
I remember the Giants game when they kicked that field goal the second.
The Bears? We play the Bears? Can we get 40 on the Bears?
Bears are going to be so bad next year. I can't wait to smoke them.
Revenge game.
Like on a Thursday?
Special uniforms against us. So there's
Carson Wentz throws for 5 touchdowns against his revenge game on the Colts. Calling it right now.
What about against the Eagles?
3 with 2 interceptions because it's Philly.
Each time?
Each time.
Yeah. So
we'll win both games, but it's going to be a shaky game both times, but we'll prevail both times.
Okay.
Gus Bus here with the facts, okay? How about just have our offense average 5 points higher than our points allowed average?
There you go.
Please.
Well, did we allow like 60 points a game last year? So
it might as well have. Their defense didn't
Cowboys was like 12 or something like that.
Caleb asks, do you think we'll be doing a lot more RPO type offense?
I see it incorporated a little bit more than what we have because Carson's capable of running that. He is.
Oh, yeah, but I don't see it being like a staple of the offense. No, he's a down.
But I think you could use it with some Curtis Samuel, a healthy Curtis Samuel a little bit. I mean, we could use that and every now and then.
Once or twice.
Yeah. Like maybe a 12% out of the playbook would be RPO.
But it's not going to be part of the offense.
I think you're going to see it. I do think you're going to see it a lot, but it's even though it's an RPO, realistically, it's play action is what I think you're going to see.
Sure.
That's how they're going to use it.
I'm going to call it every time too.
Carson hands it off because he knows he's not going to be able to get a pass off and lets Gibson or Brian Robinson take it. If there's nobody there, it's just play action. We've got him. And then you dunk it out or you toss it out to one of the speedy receivers or open downfield. So I think you are going to see a lot of it. I don't think Carson's going to be playing a lot of designed runs. I just don't think they're going to risk him for injury all that often. They are going to have some designed runs for him. That is a part of his game. I just don't see it being called a designed run all that often.
I believe last year the Commanders were the number 1 play action team in the NFL. They ran more play actions than anybody in the entire league. So you're going to see a lot of that. What happened, Trev?
Just commenting on Ben's comment. That's Ben.
We can do Ben. Shout out to Ben. We can do an easy 40 in one of the Giants games. Let's make it back-to-back 40 games.
It's so funny. Ben, that's so funny. Cat out of the bag. We were just talking pre-show. We haven't seen you in a while. Pop in the chat, and then what are the odds of tonight you pop in and
always appreciate those in the chat there. Stay active. Why don't we go ahead and wrap up this talk here on training camp? When we come back, we're going to talk Joe Jacoby being snubbed again and also the fight song. Let's hear what you have to say about the new Commanders fight song. All that's coming up here on The Cool Down. My guys haven't seen that one either.
Wait a minute.
Surprise. Second surprise of the night.
I wasn't even paying attention like usual for the cool down graphic there. I was looking at Trev because I thought we were going to be doing like a conversation behind the scenes.
No,
Trev was like, and then I looked
got wide-eyed, and then you looked up. Yeah, so we do have a couple new graphics there.
Cool.
Not share it with the guys. I just wanted to surprise them here on the show. So if you like the graphics, let us know in the chat. We're all on the same page for Joe Jacoby. So we're going to talk about that first, because I don't think we're on the same page for the fight song. So let us know what you think about the fight song in the chat. We're going to get to those comments here in just a moment. Pro Football Hall of Fame tweeted out earlier today, the Seniors Committee has reduced its list to the finalists for the class of 2023 to 12. They named Ken Anderson, Maxie Bahan, Randy Gradishar, Chuck Howley, Cecil Isbell, Joe Klecko, Bob Kay, Eddie Meter, Tommy Nobis, Ken Riley, Sterling Sharp, and Everson Walls were the list of names. Notably, Joe Jacoby not on that list. What does he have to do, guys, to make the finalist list here?
Maybe if he's on a different team, because we can't get anything right.
He needs an advocate, because I believe that's how this voting goes, right? They need somebody to stand up in these meetings and say, well, it has to be somebody who's
the media committee. Yeah, the media. There needs to be a lot more things here. This is the list of accolades. This man did not make it the Hall of Fame during his time where he was eligible. So now he has to go to the seniors. And the problem with that is there's a backlog of people in the seniors. So he's having a hard time going to make it to the finalists, because there's a bunch of players that they want to get on, but he never should have been to this part anyways. This is a 3-time Super Bowl champion. This is a 3-time first team All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler. He made the all-rookie team. He made the all-decade team. What more does this man have to do? He started in 148 games out of 170 played. He even has a touchdown, my guys. And you're telling me this guy who anchored one of the most legendary offensive lines in all of football cannot make the Hall of Fame? What is going on?
Bro? They don't put no respect on none of our names. No respect at all.
It really, I don't like we can put out the conspiracy theory here that you think that it's the Redskin name, it's the franchise has that black cloud, but isn't there some kind of truth to that? Is it? I really think that you're probably more in line, but you'll think, how long did it take Art Monk to get there? Right? That guy, when he ended his career, he was leading in all of the statistics you could possibly lead as a wide receiver.
It took forever.
And it took forever.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not able to sort of quantify guards, right? Offensive linemen. I don't know how to be able to look at them and say he's Hall of Fame worthy or not. But when you read out those stats, the biggest one is he was on the all-decade team.
Yeah.
When you are the best player at your position for a 10-year period, that's Hall of Fame worthy to me. Just that stat alone, that says that you should be in the Hall of Fame. So I think I think he should be. I never really saw him play other than, highlights or Super Bowls, because I was watching Super Bowls. But everybody seems to tell me that is smarter than me that he should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. So I don't know what they're missing. I don't know who's missing it. I don't know how they're missing it. But he's not even a finalist on the Veterans Committee, and he should be. Is he a better player than Sterling Sharp? I don't know. Everson Walls? Those are names that are on the finals this year. So who knows? I don't know how to figure the Hall of Fame for linemen. I don't know how you do it. Because you can quantify every other position.
That's your favorite word now.
I think quantify. Now, I think that here's the thing: is like you said, he makes the all-decade team. He's a 4-time, first for All-Pro, right? Like these, he is a Pro Bowler. He's got 3 rings. I just don't know what more you'd have to do as an offensive lineman.
Yeah,
he retires in 1993. It means he's eligible in 1998. And that's only 8 years removed from where he was a part of an all-decade team.
Yeah.
He should have been first ballot. or pretty darn near close to it. Yeah. So is it the team thing? Is it the fact that Joe Gibbs gets a lot of the credit for how good those teams were? Joe Gibbs was first ballot.
Yeah, that could be it. I don't have any explanation.
I don't either, bro.
I can't sit here and say I don't think it's some sort of conspiracy that a bunch of people are sitting around and saying we're not going to get any former Redskins in because of the name or because of their current owner, or for whatever reason we want to make up. I don't think that has anything to do with it. When you get to this point, you have to have somebody, a powerful person inside that veterans committee who's willing to stand on the table and fight for you. And maybe he just doesn't have that. Because I don't know who's in those rooms and who's making those decisions, but somebody's not fighting hard enough for Joe Jacoby.
Yeah, and I really do think it comes down to that. And we've talked about the Art Monk thing. That famously was Peter King kind of had it out for Art Monk. So
and Peter King very powerful.
Yes, and you do need to have someone advocating for you. I do think he'll get in there eventually. Hopefully, we need some more power behind it, and hopefully we'll be able to get him there. Gus Bus Jacoby got moved out of his position before he was 30. That's why he isn't remembered as one of the greatest.
Yeah, well, all decade team makes you one of the greatest to me, because how many guards, how many linemen played during that 10-year period when he played, and they said this is the best one of all of them over 10 years, not this year. Not the last couple of years, a 10-year period. So I think that's Hall of Fame worthy. So hopefully next year they'll rectify it, or in the next couple of years. Hopefully it'll be before, it'll be while he's still with us. It won't be one of those things where he gets
posthumously. You want to be able to get him there.
Yeah.
Doug saying on three Super Bowl teams he should be in.
That's another great stat for it. 3 on the greatest offensive team in the history of the NFL, right? I mean, you can't dispute that. I mean, you can dispute it, but most people agree that team was the greatest offense ever assembled, the greatest team ever assembled, and he was a part of that as well. I mean, that's just another stat to put in there.
Yeah, he's certainly deserving. Grayson, I'm going to answer this question real quick. Grayson says, so I love this weekly stream. It's still fairly new. What's your thoughts for regular season Sundays live streams? You better believe it. We'll be doing some live streams, offer you play-by-play and live commentary on the games. So make sure that you join us for that, because that is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. That's the most fun.
It's like watching the game with your friends. Grab a beer, sit down with us, and enjoy it. Gus Bus, admittedly, he had a longer tenure than Grimm, who barely featured in Super Bowl 22. So, I mean, you really think Joe Jacoby should be in there. Let's shift to something else that has people riled up, which is this new fight song. The Washington Commanders announced that you, as a fan, gets to help select the next song and gave you two options. Largely, it came down to whether or not you wanted, Fight for Our Commanders to replace Hail to the Redskins, or you want, because it's Hail to the Commanders, Hail, let's bring it up.
It's all the way down towards the bottom, and it's like leaders, you know what I mean? The very bottom of the verse.
We had it in our chat here. There we go. Okay, so option one is, I'm going to bring this over so you're not seeing the side of my head here. Hail to the Commanders, hail victory, fight for our Commanders, fight for old DC. Most of the rest of it's the same until you get to one of the other parts that Natty pointed out, which is fight on until you have won all of Washington, rah, 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 instead of Sons of Washington. That was the change that was made there. And then for option number 2, which my screen decided it was not going to keep on the screen there, is option number 2 is hail to the Commanders, hail victory, leaders on a mission, fight for old DC. Again, all the same. And then, of course, the all of Washington for that as well. Doug was in our chat. He mentioned wow, we did just get spammed. We'll take care of that. We're gonna block this user.
Can you do that?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Nice. Good
So
job.
that one's blocked. We don't need that in there. Shout out to Huntington Motors from going in there.
Thank you.
Doug says, he's a music major. None of those work with the old song.
Yes, it does.
Doug.
Yes, it does. I've heard it. I've heard somebody sing the song.
I need you to prove it. Stoner, prove it to us. Sing it for us right now.
Hog Farmer Chris is saying it on his Twitter.
I don't want to see Hog Farmer Chris. I want to hear the Stoner sing us the songs.
Well, I don't have the words in front of me, so you lose.
Okay.
So,
shout out metaphor in the chat, by the way.
But what's the problem as far as it not fitting? Hail to Commanders or hail to the Commanders?
Yeah.
Hail the
Commanders? You're really trying to fit too much in there. Roger has a popular opinion, I think, with a lot of fans. Let our fight song rest in peace with our original name. When games come up with a new fight song.
I mean, because we've already paid homage with the uniform a little bit with the new branding to the old what it was. The whole reason behind the Commanders is what we're paying homage to the past.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just have like a fight song that's into like a little newer and a little more up to date? I mean, to go along with the uniform and the branding. I mean, I know you want to but like really, it's just the fight song. Like, we don't even win games that much or score points that much to really sing it that more. So can it just be fresh?
I was really shocked they only changed a couple of lines.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I really
it's not a new
would have changed more. And Doug brings up the other part to me that was kind of worrisome. If they keep the same music, the middle of the song has mock native speak, right? It's literally Peter Pan, Indians powwow around the fire type music.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of that, are they really going to keep it? That to me, here's what I would like to see. If those are the lyrics, we'd keep the hail to the Commanders part. What we normally hail to the Redskins. Keep that part. Jeez Louise, man.
I got it. You keep talking.
You got it. Okay. We keep that hail to the Redskins, hail to the Commanders part of the song. Okay. Now, the middle section, why don't we throw some go-go in there? Get some DC love. Why don't we change it up? Let's get a mix so that way you have the bar singing clashing of glass, hail to the Commanders. But then you got to get some kind of like oh
yes, I'm telling you, that's what we need. Yeah, some funk. Bring some funk. It's the DMV, bro.
Gotta bring it in there.
Look, here comes old man Stoner. I'm just kidding. What's up, Stoner? Go ahead. You had your arms crossed.
15 minutes from now, I'm not going to care because I don't care about fight song. I don't care about the band. I don't care about the cheerleaders. I just care about what happens on the field. But for the sake of argument, it doesn't matter what they do. Half the people are going to hate it.
Yeah, you're right.
Same with the name. Half the people are going to hate it.
Yeah.
It's the same with the band. Half the people are gonna hate it. Half the people are gonna hate the dance squad. What's the new name they gave the dance squad?
Entertainment team.
No, it's the
they gave them a new name, like the command.
They didn't necessarily give it to them, but they did the command force or something like that.
Yeah, command force, something like that. So half the people are gonna hate it. It doesn't matter what they do. Half the people are gonna hate it. Trev, you hate it. Nathan kind of hates it. I don't hate it. Because it does stick to the original song. And it seems like when they first talked about changing it, a lot of people said that. Just tweak the words a little bit, but keep the same song, keep the same music. And now they've done that, and people are all up in arms.
I think there's some truth here to what Ben's saying is if it is all just the same, people are just going to sing the original song. Maybe that's the point.
Well, yeah.
Maybe that's why you do it is that way you do kind of bridge it, right? Because you're like people are going to be singing "Hail to the Redskins."
I will not be singing that anymore.
If you can convince people eventually over time, it's the 80-20 rule, right? You got to get 20 people to buy it, 20% of the people to buy in, and eventually you're just going to get everybody. There's mathematical equation to it. It's eventually going to happen. Yes, I know. Big geeky guy. Nerd. I do. This was another thing, Gus Bus, that I think some people had here. The lyrics are confusing. Are we cheering on the players in the field? Are we rallying fellow fans and identifying ourselves as the Commanders? That was really something I was talking with Noddy, is that change from Sons of Washington to all of Washington feels, a lot of people are kind of questioning that. And my personal take on this is, fans often, we do this, right? We consider ourselves a part of the team, right? It's our team. It's when we won this weekend. We did this, right? We won the Super Bowl. All that is a we thing. The team does it as well. They want a Commanders nation. They want people to feel like they're a part of the community and a part of the team. And so I feel like the All of Washington, the song is now for us. And Stoner, I think that it is important that we have not just this song, but multiple songs that are out there for the teams. Look at English football, English soccer, right? They have multiple chants. I want, when the Browns come and play, that we have chants that the entire stadium is up in arms with and singing and getting into, even if it's a simple, we're seeing some of this that happening to Juan Soto right now, right? Was like future Dodger, but come up with something clever for against the Browns other than Deshaun Watson hate, right?
I got news for you. This isn't European soccer, so stop trying to make it European soccer.
Yeah, this is the wrong kind of football, Nathan. Wrong kind of football.
Yeah, but if you get some, let that be a little bit more. What do you call it? Not generic. I can never remember the organic. Let it be organic. Let the fans figure that out.
Yeah, let it quantify.
Yeah, let's quantify it. So let's not try to force it upon us.
Hey, here's my idea.
We want to have a chant against the Browns. Let's figure it out ourselves.
Yeah, let the
a lot
fans,
of those chants in Europe are fan driven.
Let the fans submit a song each week, and then you pick it like they did for the lottery for training camp, and then let that be the song for the game, and then everybody will be happy. It'd be a rap song, a country song, a bluegrass song, a pop song.
And then you're gonna hate, half the people are gonna hate it.
That'd be cool though.
What I'm hearing is, we've heard me actually try to sing it. I think next week Trev and Stoner need to come prepared with their version.
Let's rap it, yo. Let's rap it.
Oh, okay.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love to see that. Practice.
All right, got you.
Hail to the Commanders, yo.
Fight.
Well, I think we're going to have to wind it down because they got to practice on that. Yeah. You're going to want to stay tuned to our channel. We do stream live every Wednesday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at 7:30. But there's something very important happening Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Trev, what is happening? Trev, you want Stoner to tell us what's happening Monday?
Yeah.
So what's happening Monday, Stoner?
Our premiere. It's another premiere that we'll be putting out on YouTube, which is our After the Whistle. Yeah. And for those, we got a lot of new people who come in every week. So we'll just tell you real quick that After the Whistle is our additional project that we do, which is where we talk to sports people, but not necessarily about sports. And so this week we have an awesome guest.
Legend.
The legend from ESPN, former ESPN Sports Center host and all kinds of other show hosts. Kenny Mayne is going to be on After the Whistle, and that will release Monday morning at 7 a.m. And it was a fantastic conversation that we had with Kenny Mayne, and I can't wait to share that with everyone. That's going to be
going to watch it over and over again. Again, that's going to air on Monday. Yeah. So be sure to check that out and check us out next week. Again, we thank all those in the chat. And until next time.
What's that?
Be a fan.